Lamar here, and today I'm going to be talking about the number one thing that you need to do as soon as possible to scale your private label business, improve your supply chain, and gain a competitive advantage against your competitors, right? I've been able to implement this for over a year now, and I've seen dramatic improvements in how I run and operate my business. If you guys are enjoying the videos, if you're learning something, please hit that like button, share to a friend, and please always subscribe. And I'm just going to be coming out with more videos. All right, so what is this number one thing? The number one thing is hire a Chinese contract worker, right? And I'm going to get the most obvious reason of why you should do this out of the way first, and that's gain insight and credibility with your suppliers, right? You will gain so much insight and credibility with your suppliers if you can have a Chinese person call up that factory on your behalf and, you know, talk about your PO, talk about quality issues, talk about the shipping time. Just having someone there on the ground repping you is going to do so much for your business. And I'm going to further explain just those reasons why and how I utilize my Chinese contract worker. Number two on the list here is POs. You know how your factory gives you some chopped up, Excel spreadsheet that kind of outlines the product that you're purchasing, the quantity, and the price? Well, I have my Chinese contract worker supply. She takes that factory's PO and revamps it underneath our standards, right? And what are our standards? Well, we outline every single little specific detail about the product, quantity, price, how we want it packed, and we have it written in English and Chinese. Let me tell you, there are zero or close to zero miscommunication errors that we encounter when we do this, right? And there's a couple of other things that I'll have to detail in a different video, basically about our PO standards. But having that contract worker will allow you to get those PO standards and just reduce the amount of miscommunication errors that you have with your factory. Number three here on the list is samples. I no longer ship samples directly from the factory over to the USA, right? I will have all the samples gathered locally with my Chinese contract worker. She will then inspect them. If we're doing any kind of ongoing sampling, let's say we're working with a custom product, or we're building a custom product, she will be able to communicate directly back with that factory and sample things multiple times without having to send to the USA. And meanwhile, she's sending me pictures, videos, documentation on what she thinks, right? And then at the last point in time, she will send all those samples over to me in a bundle, right? That's going to reduce lots of costs and time of sampling back and forth with your factories. Number fourth here on the list is double checking. And what do I mean by this? This is double checking POs, double checking inspections, which I'm going to touch on a little bit later, or double checking the container loads. Let me tell you how many times a factory will quote us and say, you can only fit 1,000 units into a 40-foot container. I will have my contract worker double check those figures and get exactly precise numbers on, is it 1,000 units that we can fit in a 40-foot container, or is it 1,050 units that we can fit in a 40-foot container? And we have been able to maximize that empty space in the container multiple times there, and that's going to help reduce your shipping cost, your per unit shipping cost. And that's just one small example, but really there's multiple areas that you can have this person help double check different standards and whatnot. As you're continuing to order products. Next here on the list is suppliers. this person for me helps find suppliers that wouldn't be available on Alibaba or are not listed on Alibaba. There's many other websites that local Chinese people can use to help find suppliers or products, or just working with those people. Imagine being able to call up a supplier and validate that it is actually a factory and not a trading company, right? This person can help you do all of that with ease. Finally here on my list is inspections. All right, guys, you definitely need to be doing an inspection before your product leaves China. But sometimes, let's say that your factory is located in a remote area, right? You can either send your contract worker to that factory and have someone on your own team inspect that factory, inspect that shipment. Or let's say that you're using another contract service to do inspections and they're gonna charge you some outrageous price because it is in a far location, $500, $700 to do an inspection, right? What you can do instead, and this right here, guys, is going to save you hundreds of dollars on every shipment. What you can do instead is have this worker do a video inspection for you, right? She can call up the factory on WeChat and have them walk around, and she can be there on the phone doing a video inspection. Let me tell you guys, I've saved hundreds of dollars doing this alone, right? This in itself will pay for the contract worker on a monthly basis. And it's absolutely something that you should be doing for simple products. I would still probably send in someone to have there physically for a complicated product, but if you're doing anything that's simple, or maybe it's a low minimum order quantity or in a tight budget, definitely think about doing a video inspection, and this person will be able to help you out with that. All right, so there you have it. Those are the top 6 reasons of why you should get a Chinese contract worker and what I use her for. I'm gonna quickly talk to you guys about the important things on how to find one and what to keep in mind when you are looking for one. If you find this helpful though, please drop a comment below and let me know which ones you're most interested in, and I'll do a whole video on just one of these things, how I'm working with my contract worker, so that I can continue to drop some value for you. All right, so how do you go about finding this contract worker? The easiest way to find someone to help you, especially if you've already been working with several factories, is the salesperson that you already have a relationship with these current factories. Ask this person if they're looking for part-time work, right? Most likely they are extremely underpaid and they would be very happy to work for a foreign company. Okay, you can give them a pay bump, a nice per hour rate, and they already have established industry knowledge. They're familiar with working with foreigners. They understand shipping, product sampling, all these things. So my recommendation initially is definitely ask a salesperson that you already have a relationship with one of your factories. That is tip number 1, and I've gotten multiple inquiries about working with people in that way, through that method. One of the most important things though that you do have to keep in mind when hiring this person is their English ability, right? You're going to be writing a lot with this person. As you know, you communicate a lot with your factory. So now when you go to hire someone to help you out with this relationship, you want to make sure that this person has awesome English, at least writing ability, right? Because you're going to be writing a lot with them. I use email and WeChat non-stop with this person as we communicate to all of our different factories throughout China, and it's going to be extremely important that you have excellent communication skills with this person, and that they can help you aid in that relationship building. You just want to avoid miscommunication and just making sure that person has good English ability. So there you guys have it. I just wanted to drop that knowledge bomb for you guys. It's been helping me tremendously grow and scale my business, and I highly encourage you all to think about finding a Chinese contract worker to help grow and optimize your supply chain. Like I said, if you're enjoying the videos, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. And I'll be coming out with more videos in the future. Peace.